first in HD. 11 News at 5.
It's not a pulpit, but that hasn't stopped this preacher.
They knew that we're sinful, and they understand that we desire to covet.
Where he's delivering his sermon and why the message is making so many people mad. A street preacher has reignited the debate over freedom of speech.
This is regarding your soul. This is very important.
Why this messenger is creating a big conflict outside a state office. The issue of freedom of speech extends all the way to a state-owned sidewalk.
You can stand on any such corner and freely speak your mind, but some don't like what they're seeing near Cypress.
The same man speaking on the very same corner nearly every morning, and now some of his audience is complaining.
We sent 11 News reporter Kevin Reese to hear the rest of the story.
Before sunrise at the DPS office on Grant Road,
I want to introduce myself to you this morning, folks.
the young man climbs up on a stepladder.
And as I look at everyone in line this morning,
His captive audience, the people waiting in line for licenses and registration.
I'm not part of the DPS or anything at all. I'm not affiliated with them at all.
His name is Matt Garcia, and he's affiliated with someone else.
The fifth commandment says, honor your father and your mother.
He's a sidewalk preacher from a church in Magnolia. For 3 years, 5 days a week, his pulpit has been just a few feet from the DPS office front door. 30-minute sermon to an audience often indifferent, sometimes in agreement, and on occasion offended. Reaction that ended with a raised finger to Mac and to us.
So regardless of whether people are upset, angry, telling us we're number one with the wrong finger, our motivation is that Christ died for these people.
But some of these people have a question for DPS. Why here?
Well, it's just a little annoying is all.
Why is he allowed to do this every morning?
Someone preaching their beliefs on you just doesn't sit well with me.
Well, I'm also an American citizen, and I know people have died for us to have that freedom of speech, and God has allowed us to have it.
I think, you have freedom of speech, and, that's the good part about living in America.
And Mac does not plan to end his morning sermons anytime soon. In fact, when you ask him how much longer he'll be doing this at DPS, his answer is quick and to the point. How much longer will you do this?
Until Jesus comes. Until Jesus comes.
So even if his audience complains, Mac plans to keep climbing his ladder at DPS, where he feels he's been given a license to preach.
It's not every morning you have a crazy guy yelling at you about your sins. But folks, I do thank you for your patience.
In Cypress, Kevin Reese, 11 News.